Welcome back to the deep dive. Really excited about today. We're cracking open Atomic Habits by James Clear. You've probably heard of it. The whole idea is tiny changes, remarkable results. So this deep dive is basically your shortcut to figuring out how these, well, seemingly small adjustments can actually lead to massive, sustainable change in your life. And maybe understand why it's often so hard to make those changes stick.
Exactly. And our mission here, it's not just about learning about habits, is it? It's really understanding a system that can genuinely help you become the person you want to be
Right.
without all that overwhelm from too much information or constantly fighting yourself with willpower. Because the real kicker here, I think, is the focus on systems and, crucially, identity shifts. It's not just about goals.
Right, goals versus systems. That's a big theme.
It really reframes the whole self-improvement game.
Okay, so let's jump right into that foundational idea. Tiny changes, remarkable results. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? We're kind of taught we need these huge, drastic changes. So how does Clear actually convince us that this, 1% improvement daily is the real path?
Well, what's really clever is how he sort of redefines discipline. It's not about brute force,
Right.
willpower runs out. It's more about engineering your environment,
Yeah.
your identity even, so that the good choices, they become the easiest path, the path of least resistance. He shows how these tiny, tiny improvements compound, like interest in the bank, right? Day to day, maybe you don't see much. But over months, years, the difference is huge, massive.
Compound interest for habits. I like
A
it.
game changer for anyone who's felt like a failure just trying to be more disciplined.
That makes total sense. Not being a superhero, just setting up a system so you kind of can't fail.
Yeah.
And speaking of systems, Clear gives us this brilliant framework. He breaks habit formation down really simply into a 4-step loop. The 4 laws of behavior change. This is the practical bit, right? The roadmap for building good habits and breaking bad ones too.
Exactly. And it's so elegant because each law for building a good habit, you just flip it, invert it. That's how you break a bad one. So make it obvious becomes
Make it invisible.
precisely. It's like understanding the physics, the same forces work both ways.
Okay, let's unpack these laws then. Let's start with number 1. Make it obvious. The idea being our environment often shapes our actions more than, say, motivation does. So for you listening, how do you arrange your space, your surroundings to cue those good actions? How do you make those cues just jump out at you?
Clear gives us 2 main tools here. First is habit stacking. You piggyback a new habit onto one you already do, like his example. After I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 2 minutes.
Okay, so you use the old habit as the trigger.
Exactly. Brushing your teeth is ingrained. It becomes the automatic cue. Your brain loves that efficiency. And second, implementation intentions. This gives it real structure. I will do the thing at this time in this place.
Yeah.
It removes all of the fuzziness, makes the cue super clear, like you've already decided. No guesswork.
It's amazing how much our surroundings quietly dictate things. Right, so we've made it obvious. But what if the habit is, boring or hard? How do we actually want to do it? Which brings us to law 2. Make it attractive.
Yeah.
How do we make chores feel appealing?
Yeah, this taps right into our desires. One way is temptation bundling. This is where you pair something you want to do with something you need to do.
Like the example.
Hey.
Only listening to your favorite podcast.
While you're on the treadmill, exactly. Suddenly, the treadmill isn't such a drag because it's linked to pleasure.
Okay, I see. Link and reward.
And the other big one, social influence. We are wired to fit in, imitate the tribe. So if you join a group where the habit you want is just normal, like a running club or a writing group, that habit becomes way more attractive because belonging feels good. We want to be part of the norm.
Yeah, joining a community makes a huge difference. Okay, that's clever. Trick the brain. So, obvious, attractive. Then there's the effort, the friction. Law 3. Make it easy. This is about lowering that barrier to entry, right? Why is just starting, even trivially, so much more powerful than aiming for perfection from day one?
Absolutely. And the question becomes, how do we actually remove those barriers?
Yeah.
That inertia. Clear's got some really practical stuff. First, reduce friction. Set things up beforehand. Want to work out? Close out, water bottle filled, mat ready. Make step 1 effortless.
Remove the excuses before they happen.
Right. Second, he really hammers repetition, not perfection. Remember that quote. You don't need to be motivated. You need to be consistent.
Consistency over intensity.
That's the core. Redefine success. And finally, the big one, the 2-minute rule. Any new habit, make the very first step take less than 2 minutes.
2 minutes, that's it.
That's it. Want to read more? Habit isn't read for an hour. It's read 1 page. Sounds tiny, almost silly. but it lowers that activation energy so much, you just do it. And once you start reading one page,
Yeah.
well, often you keep going. It builds momentum.
The 2-minute rule. I like that. It really fights that feeling of, ugh, I don't want to start. But okay, we started. It's easy. How do we make it stick for the long haul? Clear says there's one more step. Make it satisfying. Why is that immediate reward so important, especially when the real results might be weeks or months away?
Because our brains are wired for instant gratification. We need that immediate feedback loop for a habit to feel good, to feel like it's worth repeating. So one way is just simple immediate rewards. Give yourself a small instant pat on the back right after doing the habit.
Like a little mental check mark.
Yeah, or something tangible but small. Another really powerful tool is visual tracking. Habit trackers, calendars, crossing days off. Seeing that chain of success is incredibly satisfying. Each check mark is like a tiny win. It motivates you.
Seeing the progress visually. Okay.
And then, maybe the most crucial part of this law, never miss twice.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you'll slip up, you'll miss a day, it happens. Don't beat yourself up. But the key is, get right back on track the next day. Don't let one missed day become 2, then 3.
Don't break the chain twice.
Exactly. Because one miss is an anomaly. 2 misses is the start of a new, unwanted habit. Getting back on track reinforces your commitment, proves one slip doesn't define you.
Right. Okay, those 4 laws are super practical. But you mentioned something earlier, maybe the most powerful idea in the book.
Yes. Identity.
True behavior change is identity change. That sounds deep. For listeners who might be a bit skeptical, what other core ideas really back this up? Why is this shift so fundamental?
It really is the bedrock. It's that aha moment. Instead of focusing on the outcome, the goal, you focus on the type of person you want to become.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. A goal-based approach is like, I want to run a marathon. That's something external you achieve. But an identity-based approach, that's, I am a runner. See the difference?
Yeah, one is doing, one is being.
Precisely. That internal shift changes how you see yourself, and your actions start aligning naturally with that identity. When you are a runner, going for a run isn't a chore you force yourself to do. It's just what runners do. The motivation becomes internal. It's sustainable because it's who you are. It makes consistency so much less of a battle.
Wow, okay. Thinking I'm a healthy person versus I want to lose 10 pounds, that feels different.
Completely different. It drives everything.
That identity piece really does feel like the master key. But Atomic Habits has more supporting ideas too, right? Things that reinforce why this all works.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's the compound growth of habits, which we touched on how small things add up massively over time. Reinforces consistency.
The 1% better idea.
Exactly. Then there's the plateau of latent potential. This is huge. It explains why you might work hard on a habit but not see results immediately. Progress isn't always linear. You're building potential under the surface, like water heating up before it boils. Don't get discouraged in that plateau.
That's crucial, because we quit when we don't see instant results.
We do. There's also the Goldilocks rule. To stay motivated, tasks need to be just right. Not too easy, you get bored. Not too hard, you get frustrated and give up. Find that sweet spot that challenges you just enough.
Keeps you engaged.
Keeps you engaged. And finally, circling back to the big theme, the focus on systems. That quote sums it up perfectly.
Oh, the famous one. You do not rise to the level of your goals.
You fall to the level of your systems. It puts the power back in the processes you build, not just wishful thinking about outcomes.
That's a powerful summary of the core ideas. So thinking about the book as a whole, how effective is it? And honestly, who might not find it that useful? Strengths and weaknesses.
Strengths, it's incredibly practical, super actionable. Every chapter gives you things you can do right now. The summaries are great. It blends science, psychology, neuroscience with relatable stories, making it easy to grasp. And it's just clearly written, very accessible.
Okay, sounds pretty solid. Any downsides?
Well, for some, maybe the core ideas might feel a bit repetitive after a while. He does reinforce the main points. And if you're already deep into behavioral science, maybe it feels a little simple. It's not for niche, complex strategies. And definitely, it's not a quick fix. If you want instant motivation, this isn't it. The whole point is gradual, consistent effort. Some people might find that frustrating.
Right, it requires patience. So if you're listening and wondering, is this deep dive, this book, really for me? Who benefits most?
Honestly, its appeal is incredibly broad. Anyone trying to build a good habit or break a bad one. Seriously. Students. Professionals wanting more productivity, entrepreneurs needing consistency, parents, absolutely. But it's especially powerful, I think, for anyone feeling stuck. Stuck in procrastination cycles, inconsistent. People who know what they should do, but struggle to actually do it consistently.